Okay, good morning. Welcome to MAT142, Plain and Solid Geometry. This is a course offered by LD Woosley, Bethany College in Makati City. Welcome. I'm live in San Juan City. And welcome to our week number 11. And next week will be your midterm examinations. All right, welcome everyone. I've seen a student a while ago, but she went out. All right. Right, welcome. So let's wait for a while. So I have some delay on my broadcast. Nevertheless, we'll continue. So today we will have a sort of review, no? So nasa na kaya yung mga barkada natin? Mga YouTube barkada. Okay, paramdam kayo dyan, mga YouTube barkada. Ayan. Alright, one top chat on our YouTube channel. Salamat. Are you one of my student or somebody else? Okay, acknowledging Gian. Salamat Gian on our YouTube channel. Madidelay. O sige. Madi unahan na natin yung mga girls. Bakit madidelay? Ayan. Okay, welcome Gillian on our stream. Welcome. So we will have a sort of review today. And I would declare next week will be as I would say a periodic break. So instead of coming to my class next week, no more. But nevertheless, we will continue. Keep posted on the upload of the midterm examination. Okay? Parang naulit na Gillian, no? Ano ba yung sa calculus pala, no? So hindi na rin ako, we won't meet on a week 12 kasi pahinga naman para naman tapos Holy Week na sa susunod, no? Anyway, Thursday pa naman ang holiday, no? So pasok pala kasi nga tama, 2 weeks kayong walang klase sa akin. Tama ba Gillian?
Opo, sir.
I intend not to meet next week because I think that's enough. So you could just review. And the following week is a Good Friday. Very good. A Good Friday. Acknowledging Noraline on our YouTube. Noraline and Gian is with us. Ayan. Ayan. Good morning din sa'yo, Nora. And then Gian with us also. Ayan. Alright, so we will have a sort of review as we will answer all odd numbers. I will make siguro gagawin natin take home yung even numbers. Bahala na kayo sa even, no? Then our point of discussion now would be our odd numbers. Yan. Alright, so yun, same material. Though I will be uploading still the material to you, no, later on. Perhaps in a little while, no? Sige, pwede nating ongoing upload. My 7 last word. Magandang tanong yan, Gian. Actually, in our church, yes, we do have before, but eventually, ang nangyari, hindi lang 7 last word, but exposition of the cross event. We're exposing a series of expository preaching in the cross event. No? Yun yung kasi we have been gone through 7 last words previously in our church, but we realized that the cross of Christ is not limited to the 7 last words. So there are many important aspects of the cross event just outside the 7 last words. Ayan. So ang sagot ko diyan ay Yes and no. Yes, because we have been doing it in a church, and no, we realize that there are things that are outside the seven last words that could also pertain, far more important to the cross event. Okay? Sa live, pag-uusapan pa ng ng leadership, no, if we will put it into live or exclusive for members. So definitely there is one. Siguro isasuggest ko yan anyway. Ready naman yung mga preachers ng church, but normally Pastor Lem is our pastor, and we have 3 deacons, 3 to 4 deacons. O naman, walang problema. Pag ako ang host ng live, may stream ko yon. Pero kasi we are doing it independently. So we could I'm not so sure if I could collaborate the videos, no. So but for me, I will sige. Buti, pero hindi ko pa sure Gian kung yan ay ibo-broadcast or within the church, no. I'm not so sure yet. Yeah, walang problema naman kung papanoorin. So YouTube and Facebook, no, I will stream that. In fact, quadruple broadcast siya. Quintuple pala, no? So 5 platform na sabay-sabay na binabato yan. So Facebook live stream, you have YouTube, and then you have Twitter. Do you know, Gian, that you could broadcast through Twitter? Are you aware of that? Hindi lang tweet lang yung Twitter, no? But the entire video could be viewed through Twitter account. Are you aware of that, Gillian?
Hindi po, sir. Tagal ko na pong hindi nagtutwitter eh.
Yun lang. Pero ngayon, pwede na siyang mag-broadcast. You could use Twitter as your broadcast platform. So, pangatlo yon: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and then LinkedIn. Yan. Dapat, Gillian and the rest of the guys, you should create also your... Hindi sa Instagram. Kasi Instagram is more on photo yan eh. Mga Instagrammable, no? No, but I won't use that as my platform if there is. Pero in my case, hindi siya possible. So LinkedIn. So yan, I encourage all of you to open your LinkedIn account. Now this is more of a professional. It's not, if Facebook is for social connectivity, LinkedIn is for professional connectivity. So Gillian, I wonder if you have your LinkedIn account. Yan. Para siyang Facebook pero professional ang content. Hindi siya yung kung ano-ano lang. May mga nagpupulis doon. O kaya pagbabawalan ka doon, pagsasabihan ka pag kung ano-ano lang pinopost mo. So something to do with your profession, with your skills, with your expertise, something, because you'll be linking in with professionals across the globe, no? So yun yung ayan. So yan, Gillian, gawa na ng LinkedIn account, linkedin.com. Yan. Anyway, it's also a freeware also for Facebook. Ayan. So okay, acknowledging Josh is with us. Welcome, Josh. Josh, yung kuya mo, hindi ko siya nakita ng 2 sessions. Ano kaya, kumusta kuya mo? Yan. So, wala siya nung abstract algebra, wala din nung research in math. No? So, ayan, nag-monologue na naman ako. Ayan, pag nawawala si Gillian nadidisconnect si Gillian, nakakapag-monologue din ako. Ayan. Anyway. Aware ka ba doon, Gillian, sa linkedin.com?
Opo, sir. Gumawa po ako ng dati pero hindi ko po na-kumpleto.
Ayan, tuloy mo lang. More professional connection yan eh. Mga professional lang nandyan. Wala dyan yung katulad sa Facebook na kung ano-ano. So, yan. So anyway guys, for the sake of our YouTubers, YouTube audience, ito yun, papakita ko sa inyo. So ito yung ating linkedin.com lang guys. Para lang kayo nagbubukas ng isang account using your email. So maganda siya na may, kasi transition nyo yan from being a student. Of course, you maintain your Facebook account. No worry about it. But for LinkedIn, it's more professional. Kasi yan ang binabrowse ng mga employer. No, yung mga recruiter. Hindi yung illegal recruiter ha. Yung mga recruiter talaga naghahanap, mga tawag diyan, may term diyan. Mga naghahanap ng mga talents, professional talents. So yung linkedin.com. Yan lang, stuck yung browser ko. Link. Ito YouTubers, LinkedIn. Linked tapos in.com. Alright? So, you just create your account. I suggest, lalo na yung mga graduating, yan, si Dale, si Gillian. Anong year 3 ka na, Gillian, no? Yung level mo?
Opo, sir. Kaso hindi ko lang po alam next year kung pwedeng magsabay ng ibang subject sa field study po. Meron pa po kasi ako naiwang mga major.
Pag ano, i-summer mo na. Summer. Para pag ano,
Oo
field
nga
study.
po eh.
Kasi kung ano naman yan, walang problema yan. Pag ano, no, ang maximum kasi dalawa lang na course pag summer. 2 to 3 courses. I think maximum 3 courses. Kasi 3 courses, that's times 3 ang ano niyan. So, ibig sabihin, kung may 9 units ka, 27 units na yun. Ganun siya. So, times 3 ang summer eh. Alright. So, I have not seen Noralyn is here. Who else? Dale, welcome Dale. How are you? Dale, hindi ka nagpakita nung ilang course. Abstract, hindi kita nakita. No, yan, iniwan mo si Micaela. Saka sa 181, kala ko papasok ka ng 181 Dale. What happened? Ayan, yung 181 natin. So, by this time you're already yung final drop mo. Saka yung instrument Dale, pati yung test instrument mo na nagagamitin at the same time yung checklist. I need the checklist Dale. Ipapasa mo lahat 'yan. Yung LinkedIn ay para sa professional connection. Kung ang Facebook ay more on social connections, LinkedIn is for professional connection. Kasi most of the HRs actually are utilizing LinkedIn. Although they have a subscription for perhaps JobStreet or other job portals. Pero normally, mga HR pumupunta ng LinkedIn para maghanap. Ayan, that would be an advantage if you have a LinkedIn account. Okay? O yung Gillian, tapusin mo na yung ano mo. Tapusin mo na yung subscription or yung ano mo doon sa LinkedIn. Ayan. So, I suggest you create your own. Eventually. Ayan, mababrowse nyo ako. Nandyan ako sa LinkedIn. Tapos yung mga connections ko. O yung iba yung professors. Ayan, definitely they have their own LinkedIn account too. So, these are more of professional connection. Eventually, ayan, kahit yung mga ministerial profile nyo, pwede rin. Professional profile, ministerial profile. You could, so may connections, no? So kasi magandang platform yan, LinkedIn. Ayan, so yan, binobroadcast ko rin dyan yung aking, yung live streaming natin. No? Of course, for LD Woosley, I'm only broadcasting through YouTube. No? Para hindi kayo masyadong ma-expose, no? So, YouTube channel lang siya. Wala siya. Actually, sa Facebook, wala rin. Link lang nandun. So, pupunta pa rin ng Facebook. Yung isa pa, no, while I'm mentioning the LinkedIn, is the other social platform called the bx.com. Have you heard about that? Para siyang din siyang Facebook pero hindi ganun ka-attractive. So, I'm also broadcasting. Normally, European, Russian, no? Mga Russian yung ibang mga lahing nandito. bx.com. So it's another social platform where I'm broadcasting also. Yan, I'm also broadcasting my my live. No? I don't know if you're aware of this, Gillian, bx.com. It's like a Facebook. Yan, so para siyang nakakatakot. Mali yata yung tinag ko. Hindi yata yun. Wait. Parang iba, no? Hindi siya ito eh. But anyway, one platform. Kinakabahan din ako dun sa platform na to, no? But anyway, So, mahalaga yung LinkedIn, no? So, meron kayong LinkedIn account. Yan, topics interested, no? Yung mga technology, retail, no? So, more on this. Hindi siya katulad ng social. Yung Facebook is more social connections. Alright, so I think, sino ba bang hinihintay natin? Okay, I think we're complete here. Ayan. Sige, let's open the word of prayer. Let's open, and then we will continue. I will try to solve the odd. Take home is the even. No, I will be uploading this directly to your classroom. No? And same as true, just wait for the link whereas I could upload. Siguro isang upload na lang lahat ng take home, including the derivations. No, pati yung yeah, I will just create a form here. No? And the due date is the same as the due of your midterm examination. No, para hindi kayo maglalapse sa time. Kasi yung Google form, sa Restream pwede, multiple platform tong Restream, Dale, no? I'm using Restream to broadcast simultaneously to this platform. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and then yung iba pang platform, no? Actually pwede kang mamili diyan. No, pero ako, yun, minaximize ko doon sa ganung aspects. Hindi streaming software, it's actually a browser-based streamer. You don't need to install anything, you just log into the restream.io. That's the website. No? And then you could create your account, free account. No? And you don't need to subscribe to a premium version, no? To broadcast to all. So pwede siya. No? Pwede magamit siya. No? So kahit yung availability ng user mo, kung mas okay sa kanyang Facebook, pwede siyang mag-access sa Facebook. Kung sa YouTube naman, ganun din. Alright, so sige. Parang wala pa si Iban, ah. Nasaan si Iban? Nora, your best friend. Where's your best friend? Where's your best friend, Banji? Nora? So siya na lang ang kulang. Talaga kayo, iniwan niyo na si Gillian dito sa Restream, ha? Okay ka lang ba dyan, Gillian? Palagi yung kumpulan sila dito sa YouTube, eh.
Okay lang, sir. Sanay po ako mag-isa. Char!
Ayun nga, kayo oy, nagtatampo na si Gillian dito, ha. Puro kayo YouTube dyan. Mag-isa siya dito. So anyway, sige, sabi niya naman, sanay daw siya mag-isa. Alright. Sige, let's open the word of prayer. Anyway, this is a review. No worries. Dahil tapos na tayo, no? Sasagutan natin yung ad. So, siguro, Gillian, ikaw lang ang sasagot kasi mahirap yung real-time ng mga YouTubers natin. Though, I will also ask the YouTubers to answer. Siguro, one na lang. Ikaw, then YouTuber, kung sino yung mauna sa kanya, tapos ikaw. Parang lugin, no? Kasi, nagkumpulan sila dito sa, no? Sa YouTube. All right, so okay, let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time where we could have our week number 11. As we culminate midterm period, they will take their midterm examination sooner or later, perhaps this week or on the following week, which is Holy Week. Lord, they may have a refreshment, to also time to relax, to contemplate, and to reflect of the cross as we are into this Lenten season, as we reflect the Christendom, reflecting the cross of Christ, His suffering, His death, burial, resurrection, and eventual resurrection. We thank you because you are gracious to us, and thank you because you have been gracious also to our students as they continue to be diligent on the task that they have assigned to them. I pray, Lord, for your grace and mercy be sufficient unto them. This is our prayer in Christ's name. Wala talaga si Banji, no? Nora, nasan si Banji? Paki-reply nga dyan. Yan Kala ko ba best friends forever? Ba't ganun? May naiiwan sa atin, ha? Banji, ay Nora. Nasan si best friend Banji? Alright. Oo, yung StreamYard, isa lang yon, Dale. May tinatanong kasi ni Dale, no? Sa ibang software po kasi ayaw. Oo, ayaw siya. Single lang siya unless na magbabayad ka ng premium edition. Saka ka lang makakapag multiple broadcast. Pero itong Restream, libre yung multiple broadcast. So available siya to all. Yun ang advantage nun. Pwede ka mag-broadcast kahit saan. Yung reach mo, of course, ma-multiply, no? Though most of us are concentrated in Facebook, but some are YouTubers, some are have Twitter account, some has LinkedIn account, etc. and etc. No? So, yan, nasa na ba yung ano? Okay, so we are focusing here. So guys, si Gillian lang kakausapin ko, bahala kayo dyan. Kasi pinili nyo mag-YouTube. So ito yung Platonic. Ito yung sinasabi mo, Gillian, na Platonic Solids, no? So in honor of Plato. So ito yung mga Platonic Solids. No? Solid whose faces are plane polygons. Regular polyhedron, yan. No? So polyhedron yan, no? And these have 5 regular polyhedrons, no? So regular polyhedron siya. No, namely tetrahedron, hexahedron, cube, octahedron, dodecahedron, and icosahedron. So all of these are called the Platonic solids. Papasok. Nasaan ba si Banji? Nandiyan ba sa Bethany or ano? Yan, parang hindi na kayo close, Nora. Dati magsabay kayo. Minsan nga, isang account, 2 boses. 2 boses naririnig ko. Ngayon, anong nangyari? Yan. So anyway, so ito na yung Gillian, yung sinasabi mo na Platonic solids. Yan. Platonic, of course, the faces are triangle for tetrahedron. No? Ayan, puro to regular polygons, no? Polygons yung So, ayan, number of course yung volume, yan dapat nating tingnan, no? Very complicated yung, so in a way, it's worth memorization, no? But it's also worth deriving. Since most of these are derivable naman siya. Kaya lang, yan, katulad ng dodecagon sa icosahedron, medyo it takes time for you to derive it. But nevertheless, all of these are derivable formula, no? So we have the phases, of course, from the Greek prefix, no? Tetra means 4, hexa 6, octa 8, dodeca 12, and icosa 20. So guys, I'm just reviewing, no? Then sooner or later, we'll be answering odd numbers. And you will take home even number. Tingin ko okay na yun, no? So bahala na kayo dyan kung anong reviewin nyo dyan, kung yung bang nasagutan natin o yung sasagutan nyo pa lang, whichever is appropriate. No? Kasi last time, sinagutan nyo lahat, no? Ayun, sinamahan ka ni Banji. Welcome, Banji. Banji,
Good morning po, sir. Sorry po, I'm late.
Okay lang, walang problema.
Medyo may dysmenorrhea lang po kayo ngayon, sir.
Walang problema. Yes. We understand. Ayan, kala ko iniwan ka na ni Nora nandun sa YouTube. Ayan, so anyway. Ayan, welcome to another account of Gillian. Ba't nag-switch ka, Gillian? Ayan, anyway. Sige, yun, happy na ako. 2 yung nandito. 2 versus 4. So at least marorotate natin ng 3. No, siguro isa na lang sa YouTube, yung leader nyo dyan. Pumili kayo ng leader nyo. Oy, mag-chat kayo sa isa't isa dyan sa YouTube channel. Pili kayo ng leader. No, leader. Ang function ng leader, ituro kung sino yung sasagot. O, di ba? Mag-volunteer na kung sino yung leader dyan sa, sa YouTube. Dale, Josh, Noraline, and Gian. Mag-volunteer ng leader. Tapos yung leader ang magtuturo kung sino yung sasagot. Bala na kayo mag-usap-usap dyan sa YouTube. Pero dito sa dalawa, ayan, so each one of them would take care of one problem. Okay? Anyway, we have here Octave to help us. No? So, yan, sanay na si Gillian dyan. Pero sa mga freshmen natin, so bago lang to. If I will be teaching your differential calculus, tuturuan ko kayong fully gumamit ng Octave. No? So, or MATLAB na tinatawag. So guys, please take note of this. The paces is there. So tetrahedron has triangular pace, square has square pace for hexa, triangle for octa, pentagon for dodecagon, and triangle for icosahedron. So the number of edges is here. So you could always compute that number of edges, no? And then number of vertices as well. Okay? So, pwede naman yung ma-count, no? Yung vertices saka yung edges. Yung vertices, yun yung pinaka point of intersection. Of course, multiple edges will intersect or will terminate at the vertex. So, kaya hindi pareho yan. No? Never na pareho yung bilang ng edges saka vertices. It's always edges is more than the number of vertices as we have seen here. No? Yeah, for instance, your tetrahedron would have 6 edges. Now they have 6 edges. Now perhaps on the face you have 1, 2. Tama ba? Your tetrahedron. So you have 6 edges. So 1, 2, 3. Tapos tatlo rin dun sa base. So 6 edges siya. Tama ba, Gillian? 6 edges for tetrahedron.
Opo, sir.
Alright. So, and then, yung vertex niya, syempre, ilan yung vertex? 4 lang. Doon sa yung main vertex niya, tapos yung mga base, may 3. So, 4. Alright. So, yung derivation nito, hindi ko na i-assign to, no? But of course, as math teachers, so bino-volunteer si Nora Lynn sa YouTubers, the YouTube team. So, Nora Lynn, bahala ka na kung gusto mong sumagot o i-assign mo yung pagsagot sa ibang miyembro. Okay, that's the function of the leader, no? For you to answer or let somebody answer the question. All right? So that's the idea there. No? So Noraline, bahala ka na dyan. Binolunteer ka ni Gian. Diyan sa ayan. So ito ang ebidensya. Ayan. Ayan. Si Noraline Puser, sabi ni Gian. Noraline, so yan. So unless na ayan, okay na yan. Kayang-kaya na yan. Okay, 142. Nalilito yung aking Alright, so sige, I'll just tune in with your chats. Okay, so yan, octahedron. So anyway, so ito na pag-aralan natin to. Kaya nga ang purpose natin review. Then afterwards, next week, pahinga kayo. Ayan, yun din sa 115 pala natin, Gillian, no? So, 2 linggo yun na magkasunod. So, tama ba? April 9 and 16 are both holidays.
Of course, sir.
So, 2, daming break. Grabe naman yan. Kakaigit naman kayo, mga estudyante. Samantalang kami mga professor, both online and offline, no, are still professors. Okay? So, ika nga nila, once a teacher is always a teacher. Yan. Actually, na-derive ko yan, once an engineer is always an engineer. But for me, once a teacher, no, is always a teacher. Meaning yung responsibilities, no, yung function mo as a teacher won't stop after the class. No? I think maliwanag sa inyo yan when it was presented to you in your teaching profession course. Ano ang code doon, Gillian? Yung teaching profession?
Nalimutan ko na, sir.
Pero na-take mo na yon.
Apa. Si Ma'am Widwidon po yung prof ko.
Sa inyo, Banji, na-take nyo na yung teaching profession?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Hindi pa. So, para ano pa lang na-take nyo?
Sir?
Yung child development, yung 101, di ba? Na-take nyo na yung Banji? 101?
Yung ano po, opo.
Child,
Edu
ano ba talaga?
101, 102, tsaka 103
Child
po.
and adolescent something.
Opo.
No? Ang haba ng
Opo.
title eh. Hindi ko maintindihan. So 101 yun. Ano pa? Bukod doon, anong edu pa yung na-take mo? Course.
Yung ano po, yung sa tawag dito sir, yung sa may special ay mas
Inclusive of special education po.
opo.
Ah,
Foundations of inclusive.
nosebleed yun. Edu 102 yun. Hindi, ano yan? Foundation yan. Foundation Special Inclusive Education. Okay yan. Sinong prop nyo dyan?
Si Ma'am Shiko po.
Okay. And then yung 104 pa rin teaching yon na nasabi ni Dil. 104 o 104 di mo pa na-take. Yung
Hindi
teaching
pa po
professor.
sir, hanggang 103 pa lang po kami.
103. So ang 103, the teacher and the community. Ano bang tinuro doon? Sa teacher and the community. Ang
Ano sir,
haba kasi ng title nito
mga
eh.
ano po, mga stakeholders po.
Oh,
Yung
school culture and organizational leadership.
Opo, yun po.
Title.
Sa mga principal teachers, ganun po.
Oh, pero part yan ng professional course. No, lahat ng edu part ng professional courses 'yan. Kaya board exam courses 'yan. So anyway. So yeah, no. So yun nga, my point is that even outside the classroom, no, I still have this obligation. No, yun nga yung sinasabing community. As a teacher, no, we have obligation to our stakeholders, community. Of course, student is the primary stakeholder. The students and the school and the administration. But of course, there are stakeholders beyond the realm of a classroom, whether it's a virtual classroom or an actual classroom. So, kaya pagbabatiin ka sa labas, good morning sir, good morning ma'am, ganun pa rin. No? So, meron pa ring sense of being a teacher or a professor, instructor, or class facilitator, or a teaching specialist, no? Whichever is the appropriate term for you to have, no? So yan. Kaya yan, once a teacher is always a teacher, meaning you have this responsibility even beyond the realm of your classroom. Yan. So anyway, so ito guys, mga review na lang to. I-upload ko to. Siguro i-upload ko na para witness kayo at hindi nyo ako makita. So upload ko siya. Teka. Anyway, ano lang naman tayo, chillax lang tayo guys. Hindi tayo nagmamadali ngayon. I'm aware that I have a next class, but it's okay. We're just reviewing today kasi alam ko naman exhaustive yung mga nakaraang linggo natin. No? Lalo na yung nakaka-stress nating poor transmission experience. No? I think two Fridays yan. No? Tapos, yun, 2 or 3. No? So, very bad transmission experience. But nevertheless, it's good thing that you're bearing with me, no, on all of these transmission difficulties. So ngayon na-figure out ko na it's only on my hardware. No? So my internet is a little bit faster now and hardware is the one that yun talaga pumipigil. No? So though I cannot do anything about the hardware unless I will upgrade my PC, no? So it's more on the software side that I'm adjusting. No? So na marami akong binawas na mga kung ano-anong bagay dito sa laptop. So guys, itong volume by the way, hindi ko napapa-derive to. No? So but I will assume that you have sometimes sense of derivations on this volume. Of course, yung volume, no? No, paano natin ma-derive to? Gillian, you have an idea how to derive the volume of the tetrahedron given the edge? Ibig sabihin yung edge, kasi pare-pareho naman yung lapad niyan. Ano ba yung formula natin sa tetrahedron? Gillian or Banji? Anong category siya ng volume? Is it area of the base times height or something else? Or 1/3 of base times height, area of base times height, ganun ba?
Ano po sir, slat height po yung, hindi po siya yung mismong height, slat height po.
Over 2. Over 2 siya, over 3?
Ay, over 3 po.
Over 3. So kung makompute mo yung area of the base saka yung height, pasok na siya. Kung ang base mo ay, since kailangan natin computein yung area of the base given the edge. Alright? Given the edge. So, an equilateral triangle yung base eh. So, given the edge, how will you compute for the base times the height? What is the height? What's the height of that So, given, halimbawa, yung base, that's your edge, and the height, of course, by Pythagorean relationship, we could say that the, symbolic ko muna, yung, ano, so I'm making symbolic connotations here. Halimbawa, x yung edge, no? Assuming the distance x. Medyo paliitan ko lang to. So guys, at least I'm also introducing to you MATLAB, no? Or Octave. Alright. So, yung x, na-imagine ba, Banji, yung x, yun yung base. Tapos, yung compute mo yung height, no? Sa isang equilateral triangle. Kasi kailangan muna nating masolve yung area of the base. Ayun, nawala si Gillian. Ayan, area of the base. So, x. So, what would be now, since yung equilateral triangle, yan. Yan, for equilateral triangle, okay, so your base would be equal to your x. Okay, symbolic, no? Inassign ko na symbolic x yan. And then your height, how will you solve your height? By Pythagorean identity, wherein your height now would be square root of ano yung hypotenuse mo, yung x, square root of x squared, minus 1/2, no? Kasi kalahati lang, no? Kung imagine nyo, tinapyas nyo yung equilateral triangle, Banji and Gillian, matitira doon kalahati. Yung kalahati, yun ang may Pythagorean relationship doon sa height. Yung kalahati, hindi yung buo. So, 1/2 lang siya. So, isusubtract natin ang 1/2 or x over 2 squared doon, no? Para, so that would be the height in terms of x, and that would be your height. Now, cube root of 3, hindi niya sinimplify yung x squared. Ano ba naman yun? Last time pa kami nagkakaproblema ni Gillian dito sa simplification. Eh. Kahit sa calculus, no, meron din siyang problema. No? Pretty. Oo nga, pretty naman eh. Tama ba yung symbolic to? Symbolic naman to eh. Ayan, anyway. So that's the height. And then, of course, the area of the base. So the area is equal obviously to the previous one. Base times height. Base times height. Ayan. 1/2, di ba? 1/2 pala. O hindi na kasi right triangle na siya. So 1/2 na lang pinagbatayan natin doon. Yung mismong half. Yung x over 2 squared plus the height is equal to x. Na-visualize ba natin, Banji? Area time is equal to base times height. So yan yung lalabas na supposedly na area. Ang tanong, what is can we assume that the height there is the same as the height of the triangle or not necessary? Yung height ba ng triangle, height din ng tetrahedron, Banji or Gillian. Na-solve lang natin yung height ng triangle, pero hindi yung height ng hindi yung height ng tetrahedron. Gillian and Banji, what do you think?
Sir, magkaiba po yung iba po, yung slant height at saka yung mismo. Kasi po yung magiging height ng tetrahedron po yung
perpendicular.
Opo, yung sa Pythagorean po, siya po yung longer, I mean.
Oo. So how could we establish a Pythagorean relationship for us to solve kaya magulo, no? Yun yung derivation na sinasabi ko. So anyway, this will bring to this formula. So ang idea ko, you don't need to derive, no? But of course, you need to anticipate where it's coming from. So yung mga derivables na to. So but anyway, derivation is not anymore a requirement. Okay? So of course, we have already browsed through this rectangular parallel pipe in terms of a cube or a rectangle. So also prism, we already solved that. The counterpart is cylinders. We have the cylinder. Lahat yan na-discuss na natin, I believe. Then you have pyramid and cone as 1/3 base times height, and then the frustum, no? For pyramid and so lahat yan na-discuss na natin. Of course, there is still another polyhedron, this time a prismatoid, no? So in addition to what we have learned, there's prismatoid polyhedron having 4 bases, 2 polygons in parallel planes, and 4 lateral faces, triangles or trapezoid. Now with one side lying on one base, the opposite vertex, or side lying in the other base. So meaning, so if you have this one, yung prismatoid kasi is a composition of 2 different base. The upper base is triangle and the lower base is a square for this case. So it's called prismatoid. And you take note also of the formula. So there's what we call an average. Yung average yan yung tinatawag natin na trapezoid. Ito yung tinatawag na average area between area 1, which is triangle, and area 2, or area 1 square and area 2 triangle. And the median area is a trapezoid. So we need to compute that and multiply it to 4 such that it will have 6 components, L over 6. No? So para siyang ina-average, in-assume na yung median area, ayan yung parang prevalent na area. Kasi 4 times siya, no, compared to just the area of 1 and area of 2 here. Alright, so yun yung makikita natin doon. So that's what we call prismatoid. And this one is a truncated prism. So there's a truncation. So parang tinapyas yung prism. Okay, so the expression there, area, no, multiplied by A plus B plus C over 3. So that's the volume for this is just additional, no? So take note of this. Anyway, I'll be uploading this to you. And then of course the sphere, you have the portions of the sphere. So I'll be focusing now on the odd numbers. There are some concepts here, lateral area, total area of the faces, excluding base. So lateral area, as I already stated this, surface area, total area including the base. Kaya yung sphere, Gillian and, wala pala si Banji, no? Is the same as the lateral. Surface area is equal to lateral in terms of a sphere because there's no base there. So everything is surface. No? So, yon. A rhomboid is another term for a parallelogram, rhomboid. A geoid is an actual shape of Earth, although Earth is most of the time regarded as spheroid or ellipsoid. And then another concept, Cavalier's theorem states that solids of equal height have equal volume if sections are parallel to and equidistant from their bases have equal area. So that is Cavalier's concept. Okay, we're ready to answer. Just the odd numbers. Okay, I'll be answering odd numbers. Perhaps Gillian here is the active restream audience here will answer this, and then one from the YouTube where Inora is the leader. Ayan, so let's answer. Yan, ispira agad ang banat nito. Okay, but anyway, sige, we could demonstrate this through Octave, Gillian. So we could we could have some yeah. So sige, even number is not, so that could be answered. So kailangan pala may drawing to ng mahusay, no? Anyway, imagination na lang muna. Imagination. Hindi ko alam kung may sige, pa-plug in natin yung drawing nito. No, pero this is actually a zone, no? Sige, I will answer this first. No, later na Gillian, no? Ikaw na yung susunod naman. Yung tawa ko lumalakas. No? Pero yung palakpak, okay lang. Yeah, anyway. So ready kayo, dyan sa YouTube ready kayo So the area, what is the area in square centimeters of the zone of a spherical segment having volume? A spherical segment having a volume of this certain amount, 1470.265 cubic meters if the diameter of the sphere is 30. So yan. So ang makikita natin dyan, of course, ano yung kulang sa Gillian, ano yung kulang sa palagay mo anong kulang dito? Ano yung dapat natin masolve? Before area. Before we solve for the area, what item or what part needs to be solved?
Height po, sir.
Okay, yung height ng zone. The height of the zone. No, kasi para siyang apa na may ice cream, no? Imagine niyo na lang guys diyan sa YouTube, apa na may ice cream. Yung ice cream punong-puno na pabilog. Ano bang favorite mo, Gillian, na flavor?
Cookies and cream, sir.
Ayan, imagine nyo guys sa YouTube, yan, punong-puno ng cookies and cream na pabilog. Yung malaking apa. That is the spherical segment na tinatawag. The zone of a spherical segment. Ayan, so ang first step dyan, of course, we need to recognize the given. Of course, I would I will do this using MATLAB, no? Or Octave. This problem solving where we could assign values. So I will let B equal to volume, no? So this is your volume. Volume here is given as 417 4170.265. So yan. So that's a given. So I'll be placed. Of course, your R, given R, of course, diameter is given. The R there is 30, so it must be 15. So 30 over 2. So reduce. Now then we need to construct the H, the value of H. Now based on the given volume equation. Gillian, can you name the volume equation for this? Volume equation for this zone. Let's survey, no? So for zone,
Ano po? 1/3 pi h squared multiplied to 3r minus h po.
okay, I think this one, no? So you have the height, then the spherical segment. This is the spherical. Ito yung tinaklob mo dun sa ano, tinaklob mo dun sa ice cream, no? So yun, parang yun yung sinusolve mong volume. So but of course the given radius there is the radius of the sphere. So we let it 30. So we will apply this formula, guys. We'll apply this formula. We will solve. We'll solve by applying this formula, no? So gumaganin yung nag-aaning ano. Kasi yung ship ko napakaliit na ship button na pipress ko yung upward. So pi. So we have pi times h squared over 3. So perhaps I could make some times. So guys, I'm applying the formula here, no? 3 times r minus h. Okay, so this is the formula, no? Pi h squared over 3 times 3r minus h. But what we are solving is h. So instead, yung height. Your height here is, I will be putting solve command, solve. Solve command here, no? So equating here to volume. To volume, the parameter that being solved is h. Okay, so these are the codes, guys, no? But sooner or later you will learn this, no? Or trying to solve for h given the equation pi h squared over 3 times 3r minus h. This is equivalent to volume, and then we're solving for h. Hopefully this will be accepted by yun, ayaw niya. But kaya syntax error? Kaya niya sigurong ano. Okay, anyway, sige, symbol. Pag sinimbolize ko kasi madadali yung given natin, no? Okay, pag ganito, okay. Kulang lang pala. Nabahan naman ako dito. Syntax error agad. Oops. H undefined. Yun nga yung sinasolve eh. Paano kaya ito? Unless we could derive H. Gillian, can you comment? So, sana gusto ko i-solve ng diretso eh. Ba't kaya ganun? H undefined siya. Undefined, yung H. Kung si-symbolic natin siya, symbolic na lang. Saka na lang equate yung ano, no? Pag symbolic, then we could equate. Sige. Seems volume. Ikaw na, Gillian, medyo tumatalin yung tiko. Can you do this?
Wait lang po, sir. Open po.
Sige nga. So, i-symbolic mo yung B, H, saka R. So, para mangyari niyan, we are solving for H. Supposedly, no? Yeah, Gillian, I think, you have the link already for Octave?
Wait lang po, sir. Kinukuha ko pa po sa email, sir. Wait lang po.
Sige, sige. Or pwede ko naman i-paste dito sa private chat. Ayan.
Sige.
B, R, saka H. Okay, sige, clear natin. I-clear mo, CLC, saka clear. Ayan. Yan. Oh, bakit kaya? May ano ba yung R? May constant bang R? Na hindi pwedeng gamitin?
Parang meron siya.
May R ba? Teka, wait. Ayan. Ang weird nito ah. Oh. At tanggalin mo yung kama, Gillian. B space R space H lang. Seems. Sige.
Okay.
Okay lang yan, Gian. Ano natin yan. Mapag-aralan natin yan sooner or later. Ayan, pasok. O yan. And then, yung formula. Then solve command mo. Saka na lang natin substitute yung ano.
Wait, sorry.
Ay, multiplication, 3R. Tapos, yan, multiplication, yan, okay. Then solve command siguro, pasok mo na yung solve command.
Saan, sir? Saan po, sir, sa unahan?
Sa unahan. Yan, comma. Tapos comma H. Hindi, solve, tama. Sa ilalim yung ano, sa hulihan yung comma H. May ano ka, meron kang open parenthesis. Solve. Oh. Ayan. Tapos yung close yan sa H yan. Saya naman ito. So 3R. Dapat may lalabas na ano, no? May lalabas siya na parameter. Okay, last result. Last result. Ayaw makikooperate nito off-feed na to. Sige, last result. Substitute natin literally. Substitute natin literally. 147p. I-solve ko to. Yan, dapat okay na yan. Ay, nako. Yun. Parse error. Hindi sinosolve nga eh. Labo nga eh. Sinosolve nga siya. Kaya talaga undefined. Ayan, sige. Yun, no? Ang bira, baka malaking bulati na naman to bilyan. Ayun, no, grabe naman yan. Ano ba naman to? Uy, ang haba, uy. Salamat sa simplification. Okay, sige, sige. Balik na tayo. Kala ko pa na magkakaroon ng visual presentation dito sa Octave. Okay, okay. Nevertheless, sige. So, ang first step dyan, so, imumultiply muna na. Sige, isa-isahin ko na lang, no? Kasi hindi cooperative tong ano eh. So, yung 1470.265, okay, based on the formula that we have, is for pi h squared over 3. So, babato mo yung 3 sa kabila. Babato yung 3 sa kabila. And then, yung pi. Yung pi naman. So, isa-isahin ko na lang guys ha. Diyan sa YouTube, bahala na kayong mitindi ha. Medyo hindi cooperative si Octave. Ang haba ng kanyang sagot. Di ko rin maintindihan to. Supposedly, ang ipapakita niya lang dyan, ang papakita lang, so, di-divide mo ng pi to, divided by times 3, divided by pi. Kaya yung unang step guys, no? Kaya makuha mo tong 1404, matatanggal yung pi sa 3 sa kabila. Bahala na kayo mag-imagine guys ha, alam niyo na yung equation. Okay? In-apply ko doon sa 1470, so divided by pi times 3. So 1404. Ano maiiwan sa kabila? So maiiwan sa kabila h squared 3 times r minus h. So h squared. So maiiwan sa kabila ay 45, no? So it will become 45 h squared. 45h squared. And then yung h squared times negative h minus h cubed. So yan ang lalabas dyan. No? Ako nawala pa yung connection ko. Paano naman pwedeng masolve na to? Yun, no? Kumonti na lang. Kumonti na lang. Pero hindi niya pa rin masolve. So actually, ang nakikita kong sagot dyan, itong 6. That's the first root. And the other roots are not on the rational, hindi siya rational. No? So ayan, nasolve na natin dito. For this case, the answer there guys is 6 for your h. And then saka pa lang natin masosolve yung area. By the way, what is area? H is equal to 6 and R is equal to 15. Okay, I'm inputting it. Area is equal to 2 times pi times RH. 2 pi RH, the area. Okay, so you have 465.49 square meters. So the answer is 465 is letter B. Okay, ang hirap ng unang tanong ha. Ayan, so odd number lang sasagutin natin. Bahala na kayo dyan sa even numbers. Okay? Next. Okay, next is 359. Ito, madali-dali ito. 359. So siguro point of discussion na lang, no? Yan. So alam ko kinakabahan yung mga YouTubers eh. Okay. It says here on 359, if the edge of the cube increased by 30, how much is the surface area increase? Okay, surface area. So there must be a relation to ratio. No? So yung ratio, ano ngayon yung increase? So in terms of a ratio and proportion, we could have this, no? So ratio and proportion. So para ang lalabas diyan, lalabas diyan area 1 Okay, area 1 is something to do with, since this is the edge of the cube, no? The surface area is, what's the surface area, Gillian, of the cube?
6A squared po, sir.
So that is 6x squared, no?
6x.
6x squared. So yung area 1, I will assign here an area 1. So kailangan natin symbolic to. Area 1, area 2, and then say yung x, yung edge 1, saka edge 2. Ayan. So yung area 1 here is 6 times x sub 1 squared. Ayan. So area 1 by symbolic is 6 x sub 1 squared. However, you increase it by 30%. So it follows that x sub 2 is equal to 1.30 x sub 1. So because you increase the edge of the cube by 30%. Right? So x sub 2 is equal to 1.30. So it means 30% increase of x sub 1. So yan, okay. Wait. So 13 over 10, okay lang. 1.30, no problem. So that's the relation of x sub 2, symbolically to x sub 1. Now, how that would reflect the increase on a sub 1? From a sub 1 to a sub 2, where a sub 2 is defined now by 6 times a sub 2 squared. Right? So that's the edge of the new enlarged cube that's increased by 30%. No, kasi tinatanong lang dyan yung ratio, no? How much? So we're actually looking into the increase as far as the area. Kung nag-increase ng 30% ang edge, ano ang epekto nito sa area? Alright? So yun yung makikita natin. So there you are. So I have also the formula. And utilizing this, no, I hope there will be a ratio a sub 1 divided by a sub 2. Hopefully there's an answer, no? Or sorry, it should be a sub 2 dahil mas malaking a sub 2. A sub 2 over a sub 1. Sa YouTube, please comment if you can follow. Can you follow the pattern, Gillian? A sub 2 over a sub 1 kasi we would like to have the ratio, and the ratio is 169 over 100 or 1.69. Therefore, the increase 1.69 from 1 to 1.69. What is the increase, Gillian?
%69 po.
69%. Okay, 69%. So, okay, let's move on. So, 360, bahala na kayo dyan. 361 tayo. Parang yung 361 ay yan, given the sphere of a diameter d, what's the percentage increase in its diameter when the surface area increases by 21%? This time, diameter. Diameter naman yung nais na. Can you do this, Gillian? Using the same, applying it symbolically first, assigning D1, area 1, D2, area 2 as symbolic, and then you get the relationships. Then afterwards, get the ratio, the appropriate ratio. So ang kukunin mo dito D2 over D1. Yun yung final ratio na kukunin mo. Dapat ma-establish mo muna yung relation ng surface area, yung D1 surface area 1, D2 surface area 2, and then yung relation ng area 1 sa area 2, which is increased by 21%. So meaning, by the way, yung ating sinol, parang i-square niya lang, no? So kung ito, no? So kung ito ay 30%, so anong implication niya? It's more of a square. Yeah, it's more of a square. Square relation. There's a square relation. So anyway, sige, Gillian, take it away. Yung symbolic mo muna yung apat na variable na yun.
Sir, hindi ko po makita yung given. Nalipat po ata.
Yung problem, okay. There. Yung 361. So symbolic first, D1, A1, D2, A2. Yan.
Ay, wait lang.
Yeah. Okay? And then formula for area. So area 1 in terms of in diameter, in terms of diameter. Gawin mo na lang D1 over 2 kasi ang alam natin 4 pi r squared, no? So pwede naman 4 pi D1 over 2 quantity squared.
Wait, area po, sir. Area 1.
Area 1, yes. Kahit 4 pi pa rin lagay mo, pero dun sa radius, D1 over 2 quantity squared para radius.
Okay po. Ay, exercise.
Hindi, D1 over D1 na yan. D1 over 2 na yan. D1 over D2. Para makita natin yung relation. D1 over 2 quantity squared. Yan. Right? So that's the relation. Sige. Ayan. So pi d squared. Okay. Area 2, ganun din. Palitan mo lang yung subscript ng 2. Yan. Yan, palitan mo na lang yung 2. Alright. O yan. Tapos, yung area increased by 21%. So, area 2 is equal to 1.21 times area 1. Yan. Ayos. Sige. Okay lang yan. Huwag mong pansinin yan. Now, you solve for D1 over D2 over D1. That's the last. D1 over D2 over D1. Kasi we're getting the ratio. Ano nangyari yan? Dapat meron siyang lalabas eh. Dali ah.
Wala pa. Ay, hindi.
Sige nga, area 2 over area 1. What will be the answer? Dapat yung in-input natin, 21%. Ulit nga, yung D2 over D1. Ba't walang lumabas? Yun, no? Walang lumabas. So, kung walang lalabas, sige. I will take over from here. Zero. Actually, sige. Parang di cooperative talaga si Octave ngayon. Zero. So, dapat meron siyang makuhang ratio dun eh. Ang mangyayari niyan ganito. Actually, ang ratio niyan, it's actually the square root. Kasi since squared si D, ang reflection niya sa area is square root. So, yung ratio ng, whatever the ratio of the area is actually, you get the square root of it. So, if that would be the case, so, we'll get the, D2 is equal to the square root of A2. Naku po. Ang liit kasi ng sheet ko. Yan. Ay, cleaner ko ba? Ay, ano bang ginamit? Maliit na A, no?
Opo, sir. Maliit po. Tapos malaki po yung D.
Yan. Ayan, saya, no? So anyway, tutulungan ko na si Octave. So actually, so the result would be just square root of 1.21. 1.1. That's the ratio. Ayan, tinulungan ko na. So by implication, how many percent?
1 point.
10%. 10% increase. 10% increase on the diameter. Sa area, 21%. Mas malaking sa area kasi squared. Squared function siya. Alright. So, saglit lang guys. Alright, let's continue. No? I hope guys, okay lang kayo dyan sa YouTube. And next. Okay, practical question, Gillian. How many times does the volume of a sphere increases if the radius is doubled? Oh, practical yan, no need for computation. For a while. Sige, you try to contemplate on that. Okay, Gillian, what's your answer?
8 po, sir.
It's 8 times. Kasi kinog mo eh. So siguro naman, sige, ako na magde-demonstrate dito. Okay, for assuming that you have a sphere, so inenegate na natin yung constant, no? So, but of course, we could reflect that. For volume, it's 4/3. R cube, R sub 1 cube. Same as true with B2. Right? And then the relationship, increase the radius doubled, meaning R sub 2 is twice R sub 1. Okay? So what will be now the ratio of the volume? Volume 1 over volume 2. Yun, ang saya talaga. So, pag titingnan mo dyan, Gillian, yung ratio niyan, ano yan twice, di ba? Isa substitute mo, yung R1 dun sa una. So, that is 2R1 cube. So, tanggal yung R cube. So, matitira yung 2 cube. 2 cube is 8. Dapat 8 ang lumabas dyan eh. So, siguro I need to reconfigure these symbolic terms. Alright, let's move on. A few minutes, guys. So, I will be ending by 10:15 to give way for my Edu 115 class. Okay, 365. Find the volume of a cone constructed from a sector having a diameter of 72 centimeter, central angle of 210. So we have, ibubuuin natin ang cone mula sa isang sector na mayroong 72 centimeter, central angle of 210 degrees. So yan, medyo okay, what is being anong kukunin natin diyan? Yung haba, yung arc length. Arc length is the necessity because arc length is the circumference of the area of the base. The base, yung base ng cone, yung circumference niya, yun yung arc length ng sector. Okay, Gillian, can you think yung bilog, 'di ba, yung sector. Yung sector, yung arc length ng sector, pag binuo mo 'yan, in-enclose mo, yun yung magiging circumference ng base ng cone. Okay? Make sense?
Opo, sir.
All right. So, of course, how could we solve this? Now, since ang having a diameter of 72, of course, 36 is the radius. Central angle of 210. So 210. So of course, hindi naman natin kung imagine mo, hindi mo may enclose yun pag ano, no? So yung ang kabiyak niya, yung may enclose mo, yun yung mabubuo mong cone. Yung mabubuo mo, yung explementary ng 210. What's the explementary of 210 degrees? Explementary means complementary 90 degrees.
Opo.
Supplementary 180, explementary 360. So 360 minus 210. Ayan, puputok na daw yung brain cells ni Dave. Ayan, ganun talaga.
Sir, question lang po.
Yes.
Ibig sabihin po ba, sir, di ba po, ano siya, galing po siya sa circle, area of a sector. Isabihin po yung arc length niya, yun po yung circumference ng base. Tama po ba?
Tama. Yes. Pagkagupit mo nun. Kaya lang hindi yung 210, yung explementary niya which is 150. Yan yung gagamitin mo. Okay, acknowledging Sir RC Pinoy. Salamat Sir RC sa ating YouTube channel. So, yung explementary meaning 360 minus 210 which is 150. This will be the base. That would be your base Now, Okay, so we have the circumference. Tapos, isa pa, yung radius mo, yun yung magiging height. Tama ba? Or slanted height, whichever.
Slanted height po. So, yung,
Slanted height, no?
okay.
Alright. Medyo komplikado itong napunta sa ating ano. Actually, mahaba siya, no? Pero, so susubukan nating ma-solve siya. So, yung x na yon, yung value ng x, that is actually the circumference. Then we could always connote yung C1, circumference of the circle. Let's solve first for the circumference of the circle. Of course, 2 pi r, 2 times pi times 72, which is, or 36 rather, no? Now, so 72 pi. 72 pi minus c, that's the circumference, the length of the arc. Now, the length of the arc is the explementary, no? So, yun yung explementary. Ito yung c. You will be utilizing 150 degrees. And what is the formula for that? What's the formula for the arc length, Gillian?
Ano po? Radius times the central angle po.
It's just r theta. R theta. Radius times the theta, which is 150. Then, but this theta needs to be converted to region measurement. That's why you multiply 2 theta uh, 2 theta over 360. No? So we need to convert the 150 to its pi regions. No? So again, let me clarify. The first one is C sub 1. That's the circumference of the circle. So this is basically 2 times right. So C sub 1. Okay, C sub 1 here is 2 pi times 36. Right? So that's your C sub 1. And then yung C, so that's the explementary. Your C here is r theta. No? Your r is 36. Okay, 36 theta is 150. Pero kailangan mo siyang i-convert sa pi radians. That's why we need to multiply to 2 pi divided by 360. Alright, that's your C. And then the difference, ito din 210. No? Kasi sinubtract natin doon sa sinubtract natin sa 150. Okay? Sa 150. So matitira yung uka na lang, parang Pac-Man. Gillian, parang Pac-Man. Tinanggal mo yung 150. So ito na yung gagawin mong area, no? Or yung cone rather. So subtracting these two circumference here. So we have C sub 2 perhaps. C sub 2 is equal to C sub 1 minus C. So that's 135. However, we need to solve for the radius. All right, the radius. So how will you solve for the radius? 2 pi r again. So, but we need to divide it by 2 pi to solve for the radius x. So, kasi C2 o yung R2 mo, R2 is C2 as the circumference over 2 pi. And 2 pi. Ba't parang lumaki? So, dapat bumaba ito eh. Kasi, di ba, ay, teka, mali ako. Sorry. So, that's 21. So, x is 21. So, meaning that's the radius. That's the radius of the cone. Tama ba, Gillian? That's the radius of the cone. Because we derive it from that circumference, C sub 2.
Yes po, sir.
Okay? So, from there, we could solve for the height. No, kasi we're intended to solve for the volume. We solve for the height by Pythagorean relationship. Your height would be equal to the Pythagorean relationship, square root of 36 squared. That's your radius. And then your slanted height. The slanted height, the computed 36. Ito yung 36 minus the computed radius is 21. That's your height. No? So yun yung kukumputin natin. So minus 21 squared. Okay. So you have 29.24 as your height. So from there, you could solve for the volume. The volume now is 1/3 times pi times R2 times height. So that will be the volume. R squared, sorry. R squared. Yan. So that will become 1.35 times 10 to the 4 or 13,000 something 500. So the answer is letter C. All right? So konti lang na-solve natin, Gillian. Ayan, so 367. Baka na may conceptual dito. O, 369. O, ito madali. 369. Ayan, so I'll be out for within few minutes, guys. No? The ratio of the volume of a lateral area of the right circular cone is 2:1. If the altitude is 15, what's the ratio of the slanted height to the radius? O, di ba? Kailangan makompute muna natin what is the lateral area. What's the lateral area of what's the lateral area of a cone? Gillian. The lateral area is pi r slanted. Tama?
Opo.
Pi r L. What's the volume? One-third. Volume of a cone, 1/3 pi r squared h. Then if we will get the area of the volume, the ratio of the volume with respect to the lateral area, sabi niya 2:1. 2:1 siya. So if that is 2:1, so therefore, yung numerical value ng volume is twice as the area. So if that would be the case, so magkakaroon ng cancellation doon. So on the left side is the volume. O try to imagine 1/3 pi r squared h. That's the left side of the equation. The right side is pi r L. And then you times 2. Kasi twice eh. So magiging 2 pi RL. On the right side, on the left side is 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay? Kasi ang tanong dito, what's the ratio of the slanted height to the radius? So magkakaroon tayo ng cancellation, Gillian. Tanggal si pi. Tama? Sa left and right. Left. The left side is 1/3 pi r squared h. That's the volume. Right side is slanted height. Now, the slanted height is pi RL. However, twice si volume, kaya magiging 2 pi RL. So, tanggal si pi, ano pang mangyayari? Ilipat mo yung 1/3 sa kabila, magiging 6. 6 RL. Kilian? 6 RL sa kabila. So, R squared H sa kaliwa. R squared H, kasi tanggal na yung 1/3 sa kayo pi, kinancel. Matitira na lang doon, R squared H sa kaliwa. Sa kanan, inilipat mo yung 1/3 sa kanan, kaya magiging 2 times 3, 6. 6 RL. Alright? Tapos tanggalin mo pa isang R. Magiging RH is equal to L. 6L na lang. RH is equal to 6L. No? So, ang tinatanong dito yung ratio of the slanted height to radius. So, pwede mo ngayong ibaba yung L sa kanan sa kaliwa. So, may iwan dyan ay R over L. R over L is equal to 6. Ibababa mo naman yung height nung nasa kaliwa, sa kanan. 6 over H. Ulit. R over L is equal to 6 over H. Pero walang sense yun. Gagawan mo ng inverse. Ibabalik mo. So magiging L over R is equal to H over 6. No? H over 6. No? So pagkatapos nun, so since your altitude is 15, the answer is 15 over 6 or 5 halves. So the answer, letter D. Okay, so anyway, sige. Ang dami pa nito. Sayang, marami. Gusto kong ubusin to eh. Kaya lang, yan. So, oops, answer key. Buti na, hindi nakita ni Gillian. Okay, guys, you need to answer all of the even items here. I'll be uploading it hopefully today, no, so that you could catch. Now, the deadline of this is also the deadline of your midterm period. Okay, so para sabay-sabay na. So wala nang mga confusion about the deadline. Everything will reside on the deadline of the midterm examination. Okay? Okay, so Gillian, so I know exhausting ka kasi ikaw lang yung nakakausap ko ng matino. Okay, so hanggang dyan na lang muna, and then of course, by next week we will not meet. Yay! So sa free time for you, and then the next week is a Good Friday. Very good. A Good Friday that's so good that it's a holiday. So we won't meet anymore for 2 weeks. However, there's a responsibility of taking the exam anytime. No? Kahit holiday, pwede nyo akong i-PM, no? Pwede nyo i-PM sir ang quiz code. No, sige. O, exam code. Ayan. Kahit holiday, pwede. So walang, basta within office hours lang sana, or sa time na gising pa ako. Pag tulog na ako, bahala ka na. Bahala ka na mag-exam. So hindi mo bubuksan yan dahil walang quiz code. So ganun lang. So yun yung mga huli nating, and then eventually by finals, ang gagawin natin dyan, puro board problems na lang tayo. For both plane and solid geometry. Ano na yan? Intertwined na siya. Alright, Gillian and the rest of the guys, can you copy?
Yes,
Okay, so thank you so much. So I think we could end now because I still need to meet my Edu 115 class. we will have also presentations for today. Okay, thank you, Gillian, for your patience. I know it's not easy for me to put all questions on you because of your classmates who have chosen to be on the YouTube or anyway. So yeah. So pero solid pa rin sila, oh. 5 to 6 viewers, oh. So meron lang isang kaibigan na nandito plus yung 5 estudyante na nandito. So, kasi si Banji ay hindi nakayanan ang restream. Okay, let's pray. Father in heaven, what a great joy to continue to study, though there are some instances of difficulty. I know the students will be able to understand this thoroughly on their time of review, perhaps looking back into these concepts, applying the formulas to these particular problems where they need to derive or perhaps solve the unknown and other things, Lord, that is manifested on our class, even as in some cases the software may not be useful to represent the equation. Nevertheless, that won't hinder us to understand these concepts. We thank you, Lord. Glorify your name. Continually guide our students throughout the week and even next week for their midterm examinations. This is our prayer in Christ's name. Amen. Okay, thank you, Gillian, and the rest of the guys, YouTubers. See you.
Po, sir.
I'm gonna miss you guys for 2 weeks. for 2 Fridays, we won't be meeting. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, your long break. So God bless us all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.